But right now, I have Sean from the band Kill Your Name on the line. How are you, my friend?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I am doing great. So since we just have you on the line, why don't you start and just go ahead and rattle off the names of the other members in the band and what their spots are.
All right. Well, we just got two new members. We got a drummer and a second guitar player. We picked up drummer Ralph Alexander, who is a MI graduate, full ride scholarship guy. He's played in a band called Truce Line, I think, previous. We also got Michael McGuffin from South Bronx Paradise, like a deathcore kind of band, dope guitar player. On bass, we have Melissa Coffey, who is pretty much one of my best friends I've known my whole life. An amazing musician, amazing with melodies. And on the other guitar is my cousin. His name's Drevel McChain, and he started the band with me actually in about November. So that's the lineup, and that's the current lineup and the permanent lineup.
Okay, so this band is fairly new then, obviously.
Yeah, it was conceptualized probably about a year ago, but only in November. Like November, me and my cousin actually got it going and hit the floor with it running. It's a very personal project, and it's very near and dear to my heart. So it took a second to get things exactly how I wanted, and with the correct members, and with just the flow of how things were going. I wanted certain things, and now we have everything 100%. So yeah, we're off and running.
Well, that's very cool. It's good to get that mix that you need for sure.
Yeah, it's very, very important.
So what was that spark that made you start this band?
That's a great question. Kill Your Name was brought about in a funny way. Not funny, but it was like kind of one of those things where you go, wow, this is supposed to happen, kind of thing. I went through a year in my life, probably exactly a year ago, where I was probably, you hear about people being really depressed and I guess suicidal. I wasn't suicidal, but I was really depressed and really kind of losing my mind in a sense over some changes that happened in my life and over some people that have left my life, and I really couldn't get out of it. I was stuck in a bad rut and starting to get self-destructive, and I this whole year that was going on, I was just I'd wake up at weird hours of the night having terrible nightmares about certain people, and I started writing in a book, and it was like, I guess you could call it a diary/journal. I don't know. It was just, I wasn't really communicating and talking to a lot of people, so I guess that was the way I made myself feel better. Like when I had a lot of stuff on my mind, I write it down. Anyway, that book just kept compiling. It was just random feelings, random thoughts. So I guess some, you could say, were poetry entries. I don't know. It's just random thoughts. Anyway, there was a day about 6-7 months into this terrible year of mine, and I have two friends of mine come over. They're trying to rise my spirits, get me out of the house. I was like growing a full beard. I was totally depressed, totally down and out. And, they forced me to get dressed, get in the car. We were going to go to a barbecue. It was on a Sunday. And we're driving up to this barbecue, which is like in North San Diego. And I was like just not, I was starting to get depressed again, tell them to turn around, drop me back off. And we were listening to this hardcore band. I don't remember the name of the band. I don't want to say the wrong name, so I'm not going to say any name. But it's a really tough hardcore band from like New Jersey or something. And they were doing all this gang vocal chants. And they were like chanting, kill this, kill that, kill this, kill that. And my friend in the back seat goes, that's what you need to do. You need to kill her name. Speaking of this person that's just left, you got to kill her name. You got to forget it. And I was just like, that's where, well, yeah, like, and it kind of stuck in my head. And like the whole day, the whole way home, was just kill your name, kill your name, kill your name. And when I got home, I took that journal I've been writing on, and I just wrote in big black Sharpie, kill your name on that book. And that's kind of where it started.
Very cool. So, how often are you guys all able to get together and practice and jam?
We do about 2 or 3 times a week for about 5 hours a day up in Hollywood. It's a very, very creative, intense rehearsal. I love it. We all obviously love the music we're writing, but we're also writing you know, in my mind, total, like, you know, it's like a movie score to someone's life, really. You know, it's very intense emotions coming out. So we're really creative in there, and you know, we do the 4 or 5 hours a day, 3 days a week, so 2-3 days a week.
Nice, that's so, intense.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
So do you write most of the stuff, or is it kind of a band collaboration effort? How do you guys do that?
It's definitely a band collaboration effort now. Lyric-wise, it's all me and all very personal. December Bloom was actually written by me and my cousin alone. But everything else after that is it's all band collaboration, and that's, you know, like, that's why I said earlier, you know, it took me and my cousin quite a bit of time to find the correct, you know, players and members, because, you know, we wanted something from the drummer, we wanted something from the guitar player, something from the bass player. We wanted musical minds in there, you know, and that's kind of what took the longest for us, I guess, to get together with the correct members, which we do now have. But yeah, it's definitely all 5 of us, for sure, contributing just as much, and it's an amazing process. I mean, we're working on the record right now, and it's just like a barrage of intense emotions in that rehearsal space. I love it.
That's very cool, man. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
What got you into music, and kind of what are some of your influences that made you want to do this?
My influences are strange. My 2 biggest influences are completely across the map from each other. The first one would be Trent Reznor. I feel maybe, in my mind, he's one of the probably most real people and emotional people in music, and really wears his heart on his sleeve, and I really respect him a lot. And on the other side of the spectrum is Frank Sinatra.
Nice.
I grew up listening to Frank Sinatra. I think I was forced to as a kid because my grandparents and all that. That's what I grew up around, and I think I hated it until I was like 15. And one day I heard it again, and like maybe because it was familiar or whatever. But now, for the last 10 years of my life, I've been like the biggest fan on earth. Like, I love Frank Sinatra. I think he's a genius. Those are my 2 major influences that really got me into music. I think the more answer you're looking for is a lot of people listen to my music and hear like this super emotional, tragic love story type stuff, and I think that comes from besides obviously my life. Musically, it comes from when I was in high school. I remember I used to like sneak off in my room, you know, and instead of going to parties, and I would get on the headphones and listen to like 80s power ballads. That was like my thing, and I was like really embarrassed about it when I was a kid. But it was funny. Like I loved all the 80s like big rock love song power ballads and all the emotional stuff. So I think that's where some of that came from. I don't know. It sounds kind of stupid.
Heck no, that's awesome, dude. That's the whole point of that question is to see really your real influences, really, in really why you do this.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to YouTube and type in my name, and I've done like on my own a bunch of covers, like 80s power ballads covers. Like I've done, it's not 80s, but I've done Bon Jovi Always. That's on YouTube. I actually did a 9 Inch Nails song. I did Something You Can Never Have. That's on YouTube. I do a lot of that stuff. I just love that stuff. It's like the really heartfelt, deep, emotional songs, and most of them come from the 80s. All those bands I love. So that's a lot where my heartfelt passion music side comes from. At the same time, it is all what I'm singing about is very, very, very real. For instance, when the first time I saw the first edit of December Bloom, we shot it, and it was like 3 weeks later when we actually saw the first edit of that video. And when it first came on, like I got harsh goosebumps, and I like lost my stomach, and I got really teary-eyed because it was very, very real. And I forgot, you kind of forget the emotion, when you just work on a song all day, a video all day. But when you actually see it, like what we recreated was very, very real for me, and it like brought back a lot of memories. So, yeah.
Very nice. When can people expect more from you guys?
Well, we just finished the next single, which is called Another Part of This Evil You. I actually just got the first mix back today. I was hoping to be able to, The thing is, we're really deciding whether. I mean, it's not ready for release yet. It'll probably be ready in a couple weeks. But we're actually trying to decide because we're shooting the video for it April 28th, and it is like the first part of December Bloom, which is a song we already released. This is actually the prequel to it. It's the page in that journal before that. We actually went backwards, kind of like the Star Wars trilogy. But it's a very, very descriptive and visual song. It's very, very intense. So we're trying to decide if we want to wait for the video or not. Knowing me, I probably won't because, like, I have no patience and I just want to show people everything. But we have to go in. We have pretty much all of it done. We need to go into the studio with Logan, who's our manager and producer, and tighten up some things on it. I'm going to try to get maybe a snippet out of it, maybe in a week or two, like maybe a clip of it so people can hear. But it's definitely on a whole new level than the first track we released. And we also have 2 more that are almost finished. We're hoping to have a 5 or 6 song EP out by June. That's when we're planning on hitting the stage and stuff. So it should be out. It's going to be called Hell Has Frozen Over. And it's very, very intense. Very real and intense. Raw emotion. It's pretty cool.
Excellent. I definitely look forward to hearing it. And, we should plan to do is when the EP comes out, we should do this again to help promote it. If you're down with that.
I'm totally down. It's like that sounds amazing. And even when the new video comes out, we can do something there too.
Oh heck yeah! I'm down to chat with you anytime you want. So that's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is amazing.
What speaking, you're talking about studio time and stuff. What studio are you using right now?
Logan Mader's studio, which is formerly called Dirty Icon. I think it's called it's Air Raid or Darth Mader Music now. Logan was the former guitar player of Machine Head and Soulfly, and he has been a producer / manager / amazing production engineer for the last 10 years. He actually managed and produced my band before this. But he has his whole compound that he works, exclusively with his bands with, and that's where we're doing most of it. We're also doing a lot of tracking. Like, for instance, we do this we're working with another producer, too, in San Diego. He's an amazing producer. His name's Frank W. Torres, and he actually is doing a lot of the orchestration. We have a lot of, organic orchestras going on and a lot of, deep, movie score type violin pieces and stuff, and he's doing a lot of that production down here. We recorded all of another part of this ELU down in San Diego with him, with Logan doing production back and forth with him, via internet, which it works out amazing because you got 2 different minds, and both of these people are probably 2 of the most talented musicians I've ever sat in rooms with. Just musical knowledge and understanding of what we're trying to do. So I feel pretty fortunate for all that.
It sounds like a pretty good deal you got going.
Yeah.
So what kind of sacrifices have you had to make to continue your musical career and your dreams that you have?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was just thinking about that the other day, and I think I was thinking about it in a different form. This time in my life that I was speaking about, it's pretty obvious. Everyone clear names about probably one of the loves of my life that left really abruptly. But one of the major sacrifices, and I was just talking about this with my cousin the other day, because her name came up, and, is the fact that if I wouldn't have lost her and I would have stayed happy and got married and went on and did that thing with her, this band wouldn't even exist. But one of the massive sacrifices, I'm not going to call it a sacrifice, one of the major things that I had to do this band and to get back in music, because I was done with music only because I was just depressed and I was very confused. And but one of the biggest things I had to do Kill Your Name and to start writing again and to stand up and pick myself up was get over it. In a sense, to get up and instead of sitting there and hoping and waiting and going, oh, maybe, and being for lack of better words, a little bitch about it, I had to get up and I had to brush myself off and focus on something else. And for a lot of people, that's easy. That was really hard for me to do. And it was you know, you can look at it both. I look at it both ways. I always do. You know, I could have stayed, or I could have, you know, maybe at that time been what I would consider fortunate and found a way to keep this person, or, you know, in my life. Or I could, you know, get up and worry about myself. And, you know, when I decided to do that, it was also kind of scary because I was deciding to move on and I didn't want to. But I did, and this is where it's brought me, you know, and I'm able to use those lessons and those hardships in my music. And I know it's a cliche, but music is therapy. And this time, it really is therapy for me. Because when I sing, you know, every day at rehearsal, when I sing these lyrics and when I sing these songs, I mean, I relive every moment in my brain, and I just feel so much better every day I walk out of that studio. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise. But again, you can look at it both ways, you know.
Yeah, well, I think people are really going to appreciate that in the music, because I think a lot more people struggle with that than maybe you think. So.
No, I do too, and I think, you know, I do get negative comments about it. I mean, I do get people that are like, you know, fucking stop fucking, you know, being so personal and crying and bitching and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it's like, I've also got comment. You know, I was on chat this morning. I was just on Facebook this morning, and I had you know, I have a lot of fans that friend me, and of course I accept them, and I'll talk to them. And I had a fan from Russia literally talked to me for about an hour and a half this morning. She was amazing. It was like telling me that because of how personal my lyrics are, it has helped her through some hard times that she's felt. And, you know, like, so I do get both. But, I mean, my lyrics are very dramatic, and they're very, very, very raw. And a lot of people love it, and a lot of people hate it. That's fine. But, yeah, you know, I definitely get mixed signals on it. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I hope people like it, you know.
Yeah, and you know what? The fact that you've touched at least one person, I mean, that's accomplishment right there. So.
Yeah, I mean, it felt real good. I've got a couple emails like that, and they feel really good. But at the same time, 2 days ago, I got an email, exact opposite. It was very harsh and actually kind of mean, you know, about, I don't even want to get into it. But either way, I mean, I accept them both. I mean, you know, that's fine. Either way, I'm obviously touching people in some way, you know, so.
Right, exactly. So where'd you get your musical talent from? You get it from your parents, a friend, a sibling? I mean, what?
I think, you know, I don't want to call myself talented, but I'm honestly, and this may be a cheesy answer, I think that my talent comes from strictly 100% pure heart. It's a will and desire to want to express myself this way, and it does come from, you know, I may be over dramatic in my life and in my decisions and in my actions and in the way I choose to deal with things. I know that. People tell me that my whole life. I'm very dramatic. I'm very hard to be around. I'm very hard to deal with. But I think that applies to like, if I wasn't that way, I wouldn't be as good as what I do musically, you know. So I think my talent and my gift comes from the way I envision life and the way, the dramatic ways I see things and take things in and express feelings. I think that's where it comes from. It's very, very, like, things are vivid to me. Like, little tiny things in life appear a lot more vivid to me. And the only way I can express them in ways that people comprehend is through music. You know, like, perfect example, like, regardless of the dramatic music and dramatic lyrics I'm writing, I put these movie score orchestrations behind everything, which I sit in my room, you know, I'll write these things by myself for 12 hours, like, and it sounds like you're watching Armageddon in my room, you know, like, these are like these epic, really, like, goosebumpy, you know, and it's just like, and I'm writing them, these musical pieces as backdrops to things I'm thinking about, like past memories, and, you know, so I'm technically scoring my whole life. So it's a very dramatic process, but I think that's where it comes from. I think it just comes from the way how I view life, which I think is a lot different than most people do, and I'm starting to learn that it is a little dramatic, but, you know, I accept who I am, and I'm not going to change who I am. So I think that's where it comes from.
Heck yeah, rock on, man. I appreciate you sharing that too. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so where can people find out more about you guys? What kind of social networks and things are you on?
Okay, so we have a Facebook page, obviously, which if you just type Kill Your Name in the search engine of Facebook, we're the only thing that comes up. It's very easy. We have a Reverb Nation. Same, you can just, I don't know all the backslashes and underscore things.
No, that's cool.
Because they freaking confuse me. So we have that. We definitely have a Twitter, which I do think is kill_your_name, which I think that's what it is. Because I just yesterday I put up a MySpace. I didn't even know MySpace still existed, but it did, so I put one up. So you can find us on all that. The most important thing to find us on, I would say, would be our YouTube channel, which is just Kill Your Name, one word. It's YouTube/Kill Your Name. That is where all our videos are exclusively going to go up. And not only videos, like for instance, we're going to start rehearsing or videotaping rehearsals, and I'll do some clips of edits of that so you can see the writing process. We might even do some live stream stuff. We have some hardcore fans already. I think a lot of them come from maybe my band before this, which I'm carrying over a lot of the same kind of lyrical writing stuff. So I have a lot of followers from that. But I know a lot of fans want to see this writing process that we're doing because it is intense. So I think I am going to throw some clips in there from the studio, and so people can kind of get the sense of us as real people. I definitely hate the fake image thing. I hate bands that put on this facade. It's not my thing. So I definitely want to show the real side of this band, and all of it is real. But I do want to show the writing process, and that these songs that we're writing are intense. They come from an intense place. So the YouTube channel is going to be important. Right now, it just has the December Bloom video on it, but there will be some raw footage of us. So when I was a kid, my favorite thing when I found on the internet was not the DVD or not the videos. It was like these little clips you'd see of the band, like maybe someone shot, and they were like these bootleg clips. That was my favorite thing I would find on my favorite bands. So I think that would be cool for fans, to see us in a raw form without all these editing shit going on, you know what I'm saying? So, definitely a YouTube channel. That's what I recommend.
Yeah, I totally do. People want to see you real. They don't want to see fake.
I agree with that 100%. And that's what Kill Your Name is, a 100% real band. You can love or hate what we're talking about and what we're writing about, but it's a real life shit. Every word I say, I've lived and lived painfully. All the music you hear comes from a place. We're not when we get aggressive. We're not being aggressive to be heavy metal. We're being aggressive because that's what the song calls for at the time, and that's what the emotion of the lyrics are at the time. You'll hear us go from aggressive to straight piano ballads in the middle of a song. It's because that's the emotion that it calls for at the time. We don't write to be a metal band. I mean, we are. We're very, but we're not what we're doing. We're writing pure emotion, and that's what as the band progresses. I think that you'll see a lot of amazing things in music that have been absent for quite many years, which that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Okay, well, I wish you all luck. I think you're on the right track. And just to touch on YouTube, I think I mentioned this earlier, but this interview will be on YouTube, so anybody doesn't hear it, and once I get it up on YouTube, I'll share the links on your Facebook page and stuff, so feel free to share away.
Yeah, I wanted to add one more thing. In the December Bloom video that's up now, those are not the current members. I just wanted to add that. We are actually going to reshoot some of December Bloom when we do the next video. That video was just done right off the bat. It was with the drummer and a guitar player that I thought were going to be in the band, but ended up not working out. So just so you know, those aren't all the current members. The only member in that video besides myself that is currently in the band is our bass player, Melissa. So, but we are going to be reshooting that. I just wanted to throw that out there. And I did want to throw out one more thing that in the last interview, I was asked this, and I don't think I really touched on it. Someone asked me about the local music scene in San Diego. And I did want to say one thing because it is a very overlooked scene. There are some amazing bands out here. I grew up in this scene, and I think a lot of the bands out here don't get a lot of recognition. So I just would like personally to say that I think that we have one of the most talented scenes. It's just very underlooked. There's amazing bands out here, Beneath Lanston, Kicking Kate. There's some dope bands out here that people just don't hear of, and they probably should. So if you have a chance to check out some San Diego local bands, do it because they're amazing.
Very cool. And on that same note, do you guys personally are you getting some opportunities, some chances to play some venues?
We're not doing any playing yet.
Okay.
We're gonna leave the studio straight on tour. We're actually signing a production deal this week with Air Raid and a management deal with Logan Mader. And we're gonna probably, the plan is for us when the EP gets done and we're ready to go, we're actually probably gonna do a couple small venue shows in a couple different states just to get some stage time under our belts. I mean, we're all pros, we've all done this before, just to get comfortable, and then we're gonna go straight to tour.
Nice.
We're gonna hit it up. We're not wasting any time. We have our fan base is growing gigantically already, so we're pretty much ready to go. So yeah, we're gonna hit the ground running just like we have from the beginning.
Okay, well, sounds like a good plan, and I wish you the best of luck with that.
Thank you so much.
So, if I was to grab, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but if I was to grab like your iPod or your MP3 player, what would I find you listening to right now?
Right now, that's the easiest question on earth because I have not took out the same two playlists for the last 3 months. Asking Alexandria, both records, all day, all night. I'm so addicted to those two records right now. That's like if I turn my stereo on right now, that's what come on. I am completely in love with Asking Alexandria. I think that they are one of the few metal bands that actually, even though their song titles and some of their lyrics might be funny to people, they have some really deep musical shit going on. And there's a lot of passion and a lot of drama going on in those songs that really fucking excite me. So that's pretty much what I've been stuck on for a couple months. But other than that, one of my guilty pleasures, I know a lot of people hate this band, but I love Bullet for My Valentine. Fucking love that band. I don't care what anyone says.
I like them. I like them too. So horns high, buddy.
Yeah, I love that band. Avenged Sevenfold has been one of my top favorites for 10 years, since '99 when they came out. Love them. I also listen to I've been getting in and out of dubstep here and there, so I have some dubstep stuff in there. It's pretty wide mix. Of course, the first playlist on my iPod is it's called 80s Amazing. It's like 40 power ballads. Like if I go to the bar and get drunk and get depressed, that playlist goes right on. So it's a pretty broad mix.
Nice. So now I have a question. This is a new question for me. You're the first person I've ever asked this question to in an interview. And it comes from one of the other DJs, DJ Renee. She's actually the owner of the station. Her and Billy, co-owners, and they're listening right now. But the question is, out of all the band members, who stands in front of the mirror the longest to get ready?
I do. Wait. Melissa's a girl, so I don't think that's fair. She might, but I probably do. And I hate to say that, but it's probably me. And it's not because I'm as vain as that quick answer sounded, but I do it to more psych myself out. I stand an hour before I leave the house as I'm getting ready. I'll usually get ready in front of a mirror, but more like looking. I'll have actually, funny enough, I'll tell you exactly what I do. I turn on this is not a joke either. I turn on the soundtrack to Armageddon, the movie score, and it kind of, it's a very depressing score, actually. I know that people say that movie's cheesy. The score is depressing. But I'll kind of look, as I'm getting ready, I'll keep looking at myself, into my own eyes. It sounds cheesy, but, I bring out all these, I start remembering all this pain I went through, and I've always done this because I've always written about the same kind of stuff, and I'll remember it and I'll bring it all to the surface, and by the time I leave my house, I'm such a depressed, wrecked pile of shit. When I hit the stage, it's like all pure, bleeding, raw emotion. So I think I do it for different reasons, but I definitely stand in front of the mirror longest, unless Melissa does because she's a girl. I don't know. I've never watched her get ready, so.
Cool, man. Thanks for your honesty. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm here to be honest. So.
Exactly, we all are. That's what this is all about. Hey, before I forget, I also want to thank Shauna for making this interview possible. Because without her, I wouldn't even have heard of you guys, and I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So, yeah, Shauna,
that's one of our other managers too. She's amazing.
She rocks. She sends a lot of good bands my way, and I really appreciate her. So.
Absolutely.
Okay, anything else you want to tell the world about Kill Your Name that we haven't talked about? This is your last chance.
No, just look out for us, and if you're into real raw fucking emotion and some heavy-ass shit, you found the right band. That's about it.
Very cool. Okay, I have one last thing to ask you before I let you go.
Okay.
I always like to ask the bands to make some radio tags for me.
Okay.
So if you can make one that says, this is Sean from Kill Your Name, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
Rockaddictradio.com. You want me to do that right now?
Yep.
Whenever I'm ready.
You're ready. Go.
This is Sean from Kill Your Name, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
And that one I will send with your song I have to the DJs, and they can play that if they wish before they play your song.
Cool. Amazing.
And then now this is where I go for my, got to get the plug for myself here. So if you can make another one and say, this is Sean from Kill Your Name, and you're listening to DJ REM at rockaddictradio.com.
All right. This is Sean from Kill Your Name, and you're listening to DJ REM at rockaddictradio.com.
Okay, man. I total gratitude and appreciation, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm glad we were able to get you on the air. And for all of you out there listening, I know we had a couple difficulties there at the beginning, but you got to hear the majority of the interview. And like I said, if you missed the beginning and you want to hear it from scratch, just look on YouTube in a couple days, and it'll be there.
Oh, no. Are you going to play the song right now?
I am. That's next.
I want to say one cool thing about this song. This is the first song we released, and the first line of this song is actually the first line in that journal I told you about. The first line of the song is "I wake again without you," and that is the first line of that little feeling journal I wrote. And it's I started off all my music from the first page, so that's that.
All right, okay, addicts, you heard it. Here we go. We're gonna play a little December Bloom from the band Kill Your Name right here on rockaddictradio.com. Just hang on. Okay, man. Thanks again. I appreciate it. So, yeah, so your song is streaming right now, and they're all hearing it. And, yeah, so when it comes time for next song release or video or whatever, just hit me up, and we'll do it again. Yeah, no problem. It's my pleasure. So, yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye.